What's up, Fight Fam? And welcome to Boxing Bros. I'm Caden. I don't even know what episode this is. We getting to the point where I'm at episode 26. Okay, I'm here with my co-hosts. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
What's going on? It's Trail.
It's G. TBA, baby, we back in the building!
We back in style,
We
baby!
back in style, baby! Let's go! Team AJ, we out here.
So, did you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping.
We didn't have that type of reaction.
all right. So the first topic we're going to discuss is, of course, our reaction to Joshua Ruiz 2. Well, it was titled Ruiz Joshua 2, however you want. I'm not trying to get into semantics here, but we're going to give our reaction to that fight, and I'm going to start this one off with none other than Trill.
It was so nice, I had to do it twice.
Had to do it twice, baby.
Bars, lyrical.
Shout out to AJ.
Wait, who'd you predict to win this fight, by the way?
I picked AJ to win.
all right.
I picked AJ to win this fight. A couple of points that
All
I
right,
won.
let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Get him in, brother.
I know what they're gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
What they going to say?
They're gonna say he didn't stop him and he ran. That's what they're gonna say. That's what people are gonna say. That's what people are gonna say when they criticize AJ. But they're gonna leave out that he beat him up every single round. AJ answered a lot of questions for me. You know what I'm saying? And no, he is not Frank Bruno. that was one.
Was he Lennox Lewis or Frank Bruno?
That was the question. Is he Lennox Lewis or Frank Bruno? He's definitely not a Frank Bruno. This to me was a solid game plan versus a lucky punch from the gods. You know what I'm saying? I think AJ, before the fight, I said AJ looked real Muhammad Ali-ish. That's what I said. Listen. AJ is a superstar. He's a mega superstar. And he proved that. He proved that. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Hearn said, this ain't a guy that's selling 7,000 to 8,000 tickets. This is a guy that's selling out football arenas. It was exciting. Actually, you know what? It's not too many 12-round fights that people be like, yo, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? The fight was so exciting, it went by faster than, because it was entertaining. It was an entertaining 12 rounds. It went by so fast, I was like, dang, it didn't even feel like 12 rounds. It felt like 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? By the time the fight was over, I wanted to see more rounds. But shout outs to AJ. Great job, AJ. Great job, AJ. Listen, it was so nice. He had to do it twice.
He had to do it twice. Hey, and so just to jump in and add some points to what Trail said, they're going to say he ran, they're going to say what they're going to say. But let's talk about what they were saying before the fight. Here's some of what they were saying. They were saying he quit. He was overrated. He was a hype job. He should change his trainer. He needs a warm-up fight. He got hurt in sparring. Eddie Hearn's cashing out. He'll lose again. He'll retire. So what they say really doesn't matter. Yeah. Go ahead.
Man.
Wait, who'd you pick?
I don't know. But
Ruiz.
I'll say
That's
this.
who you pick. Ruiz.
Yeah, thank you for.
What's your Boxing Bros record?
I don't know. But I'll say this though. Yo, Ruiz, man, you should be ashamed of yourself, for real. You let down America, you let down Mexico, and you let down the fat boys. Y'all gotta understand. You know how confident I was in this dude? Like, so confident. I doubled up on bets, you know what I'm saying? And then I see you like, 283 throwing away in. I'm like, whoa, 283. And I was like,
it was the sombrero.
and I was like, you know what? And I'm still like wishful thinking, like, nah, you know what? Yo, maybe he just put on muscle, So I'm trying to convince myself, like, it won't matter, it won't play a factor. You know, he's still going to muscle AJ. It's all good. Then, you know, I see him with Canelo with a black tee on. And I was like, you know what? He looking kind of swole. Bruh, when he got in that ring and he took off his robe, yo, that's what I knew. I was like, all right, it was a good run. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he was definitely 300 pounds. He was 300 pounds in that ring. You know what I mean? And so I will say this. Shout out to AJ, right? However, I'm not going to praise him as much. And this is why. Because when AJ Ruiz, the first one, I honestly believe that AJ defeated himself. But in Ruiz, AJ 2, I truly believe Ruiz defeated himself in this one. Because Ruiz didn't come to fight. He didn't. Out of shape. AJ came in shape. He had no answers for the jab. Like, bro, you knew you was a smaller fighter. You knew you had to get in. You had to go around that jab somehow. The whole time I'm watching it, Ruiz's face is getting snapped back the whole fight. I'm like, yo, did you train at all? You know, like, for real. And then, you know, hearing his father, and I know we'll talk about that, but like his father talked about in the corner, Ruiz was saying, yo, he can't throw punches. And I'm like, yeah, because you fat, bro. Like, you're like fatter than usual. Like, this is like, you're out of shape. So to me, I didn't think he brought his best self. So because of that, I understand, like, yeah, people could easily praise AJ's performance, but did AJ beat the best?
I just want to ask him one question and I'll let you get on all the other points. I just got a question for you. You said the first fight, because I'm a logic guy, so I just want to understand your logic because it seems a bit illogical right now. So the first fight, you thought Anthony Joshua beat himself.
Yep.
And then you said the second fight, you thought Ruiz beat himself.
Yep.
So who wins the first fight if Joshua doesn't beat himself?
You see, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. But I was originally in the first fight, I was originally leaning towards AJ, but if you see, I haven't seen them both in top shape. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming they're gonna try to make the trilogy, right? Like, and then I'm hoping if they're gonna do the trilogy, both of them are gonna take it serious, right? And then they're gonna come in, both of them in their best shape, and then they slug it out. But then we know this wasn't the best Ruiz though.
You're a witness. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Listen,
I don't believe this was his best Ruiz.
I'll say my piece when it's my turn.
I just want to jump in. You know what I'm saying, real fast, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to take away from AJ's victory. I'm not going to believe any excuses. This is the reason why I'm not going to believe the excuses. Because this whole buildup has been about Ruiz proving that this wasn't a fluke. Mm-hmm. This was a guy that tried to do a tactic that's going over a lot of people's heads. Mm-hmm. He seen that AJ was losing weight, so he was thinking, I'm gonna put on weight. He was thinking that he was gonna go in there. His best punch was be another punch from the gods. So he was thinking that he was gonna. He started with the whole I'm gonna try to lose weight thing, but then he realized that he tried to do a tactic like, oh no, I'm gonna put on the weight because he seen that AJ was getting leaner. So he was like, if I put on more weight, he ain't gonna be able to take this punch.
Exactly.
I'm not. There's no way in that Ruiz. Of course, he's gonna use this now because now he was bigger than where he was before. Even before he said before even the fight, he was like he did his own weigh in before that, and he was much lighter. You know what I'm saying? It was only after the fight where he made the excuse about, oh, I was out there and I was way. You know what I'm saying? But before that, he was like, no, I did my own weigh-in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Way before that. So I was already eating and stuff before I went and hopped on the scale already. You know what I'm saying?
He also hinted at gamesmanship because he was like, oh, and I had on my sombrero.
Bro, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is no excuse. This is Andy Ruiz knew what he was doing. And then the third fight is going to be exactly the same. Ain't nothing going to change. And the reason why he couldn't do nothing, you know what I'm saying, his head was getting snapped back, was because AJ was doing something that he has ever done before. The way he was moving and how he was using that jab, everybody knows in boxing, that's my favorite punch in boxing is the jab. And AJ looked spectacular. He was feinting. He didn't, and then hitting him with the jabs. He was looking good. Andy Ruiz was trying to land a big punch because he knew
he was trying to land a punch from the guards again.
That's what he was.
And it
trying
was
to
so
do.
obvious at times, borderline dirty.
It was
when he was trying to
really
land
was.
that punch from the guards.
It really was. There's no excuse. There's no excuses. I forbid anybody to let Andy Ruiz use this as an excuse. No, wasn't no excuse. This is your moment. This was your moment. You know what I'm saying? This was Andy Ruiz's moment. He had everybody behind him. You know what I'm saying? All the AJ haters. Not even the AJ.
The bandwagoners.
Even. Not only was people like average people was behind him because they just wanted to see a guy that looked like them win. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was going for Andy. If anything, Andy let himself down. This was a game, like I said, this was a solid game plan versus a lucky punch from the gods. That's all it was. A solid game plan versus a lucky punch from the gods. I'm not gonna allow nobody to take this away from AJ and make any excuses. When Andy won, AJ didn't make no excuses. Everybody else made excuses. AJ didn't make no excuses. He said, "You got that. You was the better man. You got that." Everybody was coming out like, "No, AJ, you should say this happened." No. AJ was like, "No, you was the better man that night and you won. No excuses." Even after this, he was like, "I'm still not gonna tell nobody. Maybe when my career is done, I'm gonna tell everybody what exactly
that's
happened."
class, dog.
You know
like,
what I'm
that's
saying?
a different level of class. You know,
And that's what we need to have, class.
that's a
No
different
excuses.
level of class.
No excuses. Just say you want to do it again.
Exactly.
You know
Beg
what I
for
mean?
it like he was doing. Ayo, Nets. What you got?
Hey man, shout out to AJ, yo. You came back, you did your thing. Like in June 1st when you fought, my heart was crushed. I was like, I don't even know where to go from here. Like people would tell me, root for Wilder, find a better fighter. Your career's over. He's gonna retire after this. Ruiz got his number. AJ got a soft chin. Things like that, you know, getting in my head.
You need to get new friends.
From there on, I was still Team AJ, but I didn't know what AJ was doing, and you know, and then as you watched him, you saw he didn't let the media, he didn't let the fans, he didn't let the haters get to him. He was doing him. He was in the gym. He was working. He was fixing what he needed to do. He got away from the world and focused on him. And while Ruiz was enjoying his little time in the spotlight, he was partying, eating Snickers, getting fat, enjoying himself. And I'm not gonna knock Ruiz for doing that because you know it's his time to shine. And he was taking it. So when 2 weeks ago we was talking about the Wilder Ortiz fight, and it hit me. It's like, damn, AJ Ruiz too is 2 weeks away. I don't know what's gonna go down because you know it's just like everything's out there. You know everything it's up in the air. I don't know how it's gonna go. And then you know gets into fight week. You hear this before Monday. Oh, everybody's saying, oh, Ruiz is gonna knock out AJ. He has the power. He has the faster hands. He knows how to get to AJ. AJ, he quit. His confidence, we don't know where it is. But all this time I saw AJ the same. He stays composed. He's well spoken. Gives you soft answers and keeps it pushing. He doesn't deep dig and let the reporters get to him, get into him, like feed into their questions. He just gives a simple answer, keeps it going. It's like that's the AJ that we saw before, who was the champion. He would just give simple. He never knocked his opponent unless his opponent talked the big game that he knows his opponent can handle. And on fight day, on the weigh-in, when Ruiz stepped on that scale, I was just like, damn, I don't know what Ruiz was thinking. Because I did see a documentary about Ruiz, or a vlog. I wouldn't call it a documentary. It was a vlog, a web series, where they covered him before he left for Saudi Arabia. And he went out with his boys. He was having pizza and wings. He was like, yeah, this is not my diet plan, but I'm a work it off in my training. And in the weigh-in, then he didn't work at all because he came in way over what I thought he was. Because I thought he needed to be that same Ruiz in June to come into the fight and do what he did. And honestly, I thought he was going to come in and try to take AJ's head off, but AJ kept that game plan where he just kept him at bay. There was nothing he could do. And honestly, I said this. There was nothing Ruiz could do to get past AJ's jab. AJ's the bigger, longer, rangier fighter. Ruiz can't get past the man's jab. And last night that's what we all saw. There's nothing he could do to get past his 1 and 2. And it's history. It's in the books now. And shout out to AJ. I'm not gonna knock Ruiz. And yo, I am gonna get on the Fat Boys because you know the Fat Boys is out here. They was talking their mess, yo. They was back in style. AJ got a weak chin. He's just a bodybuilder. He's a model. He got in the ring. He don't need to be fighting. And he came through last night. He ended their season, sent them back into hibernation. So shout out to AJ for doing that. And look at the Fat Boys now, yo. They out of style. They don't know what to do with themselves, yo. You know what y'all need to do? Report to boot camp. That's it, yo. And it's so nice. He had to do it twice, yo. Simple.
Yo, check this out. Man, listen. I don't want to hear it. I'm not even going to entertain nonsense. I'm going to start with this. From the beginning, when AJ walked to the ring and I heard him come out to Fela Kuti, who's a civil rights activist and, you know, one who strived for equality and Nigerian independence, and he came out to Water Get No Enemy, that was a statement. He was there for war. And it was symbolic, and I was like, and I text that to the group. I said that, like, this entrance was symbolic because I knew his mindset was different than it was that night in Madison Square Garden. So that's one major thing so it told me he's in this. He's there. He's there in the dunes. He's there in Saudi Arabia. So that was a good sign. When the fight started and AJ boxed, I knew he went, and I told G this before the fight happened. I said, if I was AJ, I wouldn't run. I would jab him, switch the angle. If he comes forward, I take a step back. As soon as he finished missing, I pop him. If he does that, he win the fight. I told him, I said 90% chance Joshua wins this fight. He said, Mexican Rocky. And to which I told him, this ain't a movie, dog. Like, I don't know what's up with people. This is a classic example of people getting caught in hype and propaganda. This is what happens when you look at an isolated incident and you feed into that incident, that one moment in time, and overlook a history of winning a gold medal, a history of beating Vladimir Klitschko, a history of beating Joseph Parker, a history of beating Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin was on that undercard. Alexander Povetkin fight Michael Hunter at the age of 40, this up-and-coming young fighter, and he drawed with him. Joshua knocked him out. That's the class of fighter we're talking about here. Dillian White was on that undercard. The guy who they're cheating for, WBC, we be cheating, keeps saving Wilder from getting in the ring with Dillian. Just fight him. Beat him. Joshua beat him. Everyone on that card, Josh was beaten. But people overlooked that. And for one moment in time, because he got caught with one punch, all of a sudden, he can't fight. All of a sudden, he's no good. All of a sudden, this fat boy is the Mexican Rocky. You played yourself. All y'all, you played yourself. And I'm happy because I got richer off of it, but you played yourself. You played yourself. That's what you did. You let an isolated incident take you away from history, proven product. You saw a product work one time. And then you said, I'm going to forget that product that's been working for years. I'm investing in this. What did it get you? I don't want to hear Andy Ruiz was overweight. You know why I don't want to hear Andy Ruiz was overweight? Because I don't know if he had on a weighted vest. I don't know, because he weighed in with his pants on, right? He weighed in with a sombrero, right? He weighed in with his shirt on, right? Oh, he really wasn't that weight. Oh, it was 20 pounds of muscle, right? As soon as he get outboxed, as soon as he get outclassed, as soon as class shows, right? Now he's overweight. No one was saying that before the weigh-in. No one was saying that after the weigh-in, oh, his hands are still so fast. Which his hands were still fast. Just Joshua looked a little faster, didn't he? Looked a little faster than June 1st. Popped that boy with some hooks. Watch that fight again. I watched it twice. It was so nice, I had to watch it twice. Right? So I watched that fight twice. And you know what I saw? Ruiz almost got knocked out. And Joshua never went for the kill. There was one left hook where he caught Ruiz and you could see his eyes going to his head and he goes, and Joshua doesn't do anything. He said, oh, he goes to his corner and G brought this up. This is what makes me laugh. This is how you know boxing intellect. I'm going to show you something. He goes to his corner and he says, I can't throw punches. Is it because he was out of shape? No. You telling me Pacquiao's out of shape when he fought Floyd? You're out of your mind. You're telling me all these guys fight Floyd are out of shape? It's hard to hit someone who won't let you. It's hard to hit someone who's putting you in positions where if you take a shot, they'll counter you. See, AJ went in seek and destroy in Madison Square Garden. In Saudi Arabia, he was read and react. That's the difference. He used everything Ruiz did against him. Floyd said this his whole career. If you make a mistake, you have to pay. That's all he did to Andy Ruiz all night. He put him in positions to make mistakes and then, bam, discipline him with the right hand. Made a mistake, bam, discipline him with the left hook. Jabbed him all night.
AJ fought a perfect fight.
Perfect fight. You haven't seen skills like that in a heavyweight. That's why you're hating. Because the only heavyweight you can see fight like that is AJ. Because Tyson Fury can move around like that, but he don't got a right hand to stop someone in their tracks. When's the last time you seen Tyson Fury bust someone up like that, a real contender? When's the last time you seen him discipline a man the way Joshua did? He had a hard time with Otto Wallin, and I'm not trying to hate on Tyson Fury, but my point is, we just saw a master boxing match from a man with a KO percentage similar to Deontay Wilder's. How you beat that guy? A punch from the gods.
Please, thank you for watching Boxing Bros. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
He's hyped.
We're also going to be talking more about this on our podcast, which you can check out on Spotify, iTunes, and other major streaming sites. Listen, this is the Boxing Bros. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
Yeah, and one, oh man, he died?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, wow.
Listen, here's another thing I want to point out. On our podcast, please tune in because we're going to be talking about, we're going to give our heavyweight rankings. We're going to discuss whether or not Joshua regained his number one status as the heavyweight. The status is number one heavyweight in the division. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to get in depth. We're going to talk about Dillian White and UCAD, a number of things. These are my bros here. Boxing Bros. Tune in.
Fat boys all out of style, baby!
Yo, Dad, you're starting to act like you never won in your life.